Welcome to Hypnotherapy with Regression Demonstrated, taking a client from I've never met them to they've got the outcomes that they were looking for. Our demonstration subject is Cece. This is one out of a series of 5 YouTube videos extracted from my courses. To get the full versions, get my initial courses, Hypnotherapy Demonstrated and Hypnotherapy with Age Regression, on Udemy or at my website. For advanced courses and personal hypnotherapy sessions with me, go to my website, the Past Life Awakening Institute. This is video 5 out of a program of 5 videos. Here you'll see the post-session interview.
Eyes open, refreshed and aware, feeling good. And how do you feel?
That was neat.
Neat. Cool.
I'm sorry for lack of a
It's
better
okay.
word. Uh, I was gone, but yet I was there.
Yep.
That was fun. Honestly.
Well, it's a nice contrast. I'm in a too dark place where I don't know if I can do the session, and you ended up having fun and ended up getting a lot of stuff done. So
I feel high, to tell you the truth.
that can happen. And yeah, I was there, but I wasn't there. That's a classic definition of hypnosis. I know you're getting more and more into, oh yeah, this is hypnotic. And even remember right back at the beginning, my eyes are sealed shut. I can't open them. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm open to suggestion. So the hypnosis is deepening and your understanding of it. That's great. And then the chills, the spirit.
Yeah, the chills usually happen when no, that's what chills are happening when my guides are really there, like really, really there. When I allow myself to step aside, that's when my guides come through. Usually it's just when I'm meditating or when I'm doing Reiki, it just it's kind of like it's a both of us. It's a partnership. But this see it's still there. I'm still kind of there. The chills came when I hate to say take over because they didn't take over, but that's when they were more prominent. They were there.
Yeah.
And I was there. I don't know how to explain it.
That's fine. I get it.
Channeling, I guess, a type of channeling, if you will, I suppose.
Honestly, not my favorite word, but I would say to just say I know what it was, and like the
Yeah.
presence was there, and it's a felt experience. It's very real or authentic,
Yeah.
and it's your guide.
It was me, but it was me times
Yeah,
1,000 million trillion.
there you go. And to me, that you can call that like your subconscious mind, but then for me, there's your
Yeah.
super conscious mind, and your
Yeah.
spirit guide. But for me, a spirit guide makes it sound like it's a bit of a separate entity that you channel. But I think ultimately there isn't a division.
It's me.
Exactly. It's your higher
Yeah.
self. It's your truest
Yeah.
version of self, which is beyond name, gender, body. It's your spiritual entity, which is incarnated many times and then speaks
Yes.
to and through you. And we sometimes, I think, even spirit guides they can be literal for sure, but at an ultimate level, there is no division in anything. And so
I agree with that. I so much, yes.
so
Yes.
ultimate divine wisdom is not any other external entity or force. It's all just you. And
It's all inside. It's all me.
and
Yes.
that includes all the wisdom of the universe. That just is what you are. But we think that we're an
Mhm.
individual that needs guidance, but ultimately we are that, which is
Yeah, that's felt like it was me times 100 million thousand. So
beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
I am that.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
that's it. And so like overall, how do you feel about this session as well? You went in, but even before you're like apprehensive, and this time you're like, oh, there's a whole lot of stuff. I don't know how we're going to do anything. But that's so. How do you feel now?
Yeah, my is getting it is understanding what happened, which is even it's, to me being someone who needs to have proof of things a lot of times, most of the times. I just don't believe in everything just
Sure.
because it's there, you know. Even though I'm not able to explain the analytical part that gets it. I get it. And that's a good feeling. That's a really good feeling. It's chains are broken. It's a nice, not even a push, it's a nice move. It's in the right direction. It's great.
Today we went through a lot of those emotions, anger, fear. So what was that like for you? Was that kind of pretty insightful and pretty helpful and you really clicked with that?
Yeah. It just, I guess I'm still feeling just the oneness
Yeah.
again. Like, yes, I know
Yes.
what we did was go regress to those feelings, but in a way it feels like it was so long ago, but it also feels like it's right here, right
Yeah.
now. it's it, it's just all, it just is. I guess is all I can say. So, but it's a good feeling. It's a great feeling.
Great. Well, that's great. And that's another way of checking the resolution. So we could intellectually discuss, what we talked about with the emotions and how you were able to connect with that, but you've transcended that now. And so that's great. And even, with the connections, we talk about the specific people. And I don't even need to go over that with my mum, is what you said. And actually, I will go over it with, these people that we started talking about, the monkey stuff. And you were able to go through a lot of that and express it out and have acceptance. And it all really came together for me. So like overall, and then you've transcended the whole thing. So we don't really need to go back over it. But the fact that you say I don't really need to is proof once again. It's just a little test and you passed again, like so well. So yeah. And so how does
that says something about you big time. So
oh sure.
seriously.
I did a great job. Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
of course, yeah. and I'm like, and I get this email before the session. I'm like, oh, bless her. She's a bit worried about it. I'm like, oh, this is oh, good. It's going to be an interesting, and we're definitely dealing with some real stuff, all that stuff. So yeah, it's great. But good teamwork again. We the team is required. So yeah, we did good, and we had fun doing it, isn't it? So as we look back over this whole process, we're dealing with some pretty real, pretty heavy stuff. We didn't even know, actually, those sort of pills. And I did even ask you at the beginning, is there drink or drugs or anything you want to tell me, and prescriptions and medications? You're like, no.
Well, I was under the impression you meant like
sure.
Like an addiction or like a habit or something.
Absolutely. No criticism whatsoever, but like, and this is normal. I'm even saying it so people watching understand. People omit things. And sometimes it'll be pretty sick. And that's also, you have every right to do that. Because why should you have to write that on a form to someone you've never talked to? Why bring it up in our initial interview? But it does come up. Yeah. This is another reason people will be watching this going, why is he talking he's interviewing her for 50 minutes on the third session? What's wrong with this therapist? But this is what works. And this is how we get to know all of these layers. And this is what gives you the opportunity to say, oh, look, I haven't really mentioned it yet, and then we get the full story. And so this is why I structure it like this and why I do the things that I do. And so I thank you for sharing that and being honest about it. And it's real. And like a lot of people go through this, and it's a good thing to know about. And it's pretty real. And with all of that, we had a good time, and you are honest. So I thank you for being honest and open about that and everything that you've done, and just for the courage to face everything, because it shows this is not a trivial issue. This is an issue that pushes you to the edge of going, I don't know if I can keep living like this, and things are pretty hard. And now I'd talk to Mark, and I hope it goes well. And so how do you feel overall about, what even your expectations when you emailed me and you thought, oh, maybe we could do this, and then compared to how things are?
I honestly didn't have any expectations whatsoever. I had hope. Yep. I had there was like a little bit of like a maybe this could be yeah. And I really did not know what to expect, because I didn't even know if I'd been hypnotized, if I could be hypnotized, or I mean, even to this moment, I can't even say if I have been or not, because I was there, but I wasn't. So maybe that's how it feels.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a definition of it. So I'd say yes, but it's okay if you're not even sure,
yes.
but I am. So that's all I care about.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
But you just did define it anyway. So that's perfectly fine. So we can get to this stage and you can still go, not sure, it doesn't matter. That's cool. And it doesn't. And the main thing is like, oh, what's your overall impression now about the effect? So like, how do you feel now compared to how you felt before?
I feel light. I feel like what I want to say is silly. I want to say I feel like a girl. I mean, I was a girl before, but
well, let's just say when you started, out of 10, in terms of I feel good with myself.
Like from a scale from 1 to 10, how I was just in bad way. So let's just say 10, 9, 10, whatever. Compared to now, which is I feel good. I feel it's 0, 1, whatever. It's
okay.
Right now I feel great.
Okay. And you've been in that kind of bad feeling for the weeks preceding and for the month preceding that led you to reach out, isn't it?
Yeah. I went through spells.
Yeah.
I go through spells where it just come on really strong, and then and I was just done with that. I didn't want it anymore. So.
Okay, beautiful. It's still very fresh, and then we can see where it goes with a bit of a catch up soon.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit in my la la land. So.
Exactly. Well, you're still coming out of a hypnotic state, which you would in, even if you're not going to admit it. But exactly. So that la la state is fine, and that's so that makes perfect sense. So that's why enjoy the residues, and like congratulations, you did great. You went through the process and ticked all the boxes and had all the reactions we're looking for, and all the ups and downs are all part of it. Like I said at the beginning, so that's all fine. But no, for now, really well done. We'll stay in touch, and you can let me know. For now, I feel like we've really done so much of what we needed to do, and I wouldn't think that we, sometimes you think, wow, it's also partly because we spent a bit more time. It's been a longer session. I could have cut it off halfway through and divided up, but for now, I think we've done a lot of things that I wanted to do. I think now it's just a matter of letting it sink in, being persistent. They're going to be up and down days and moments.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm ready for that.
Yeah. But remember everything that we've done, and you'll just be surprised. Oh, automatically. Oh, someone threw some stuff at me and it just cleaned itself up automatically. That was really cool. And somebody said something and I was like, exactly. Oh, they text this and that. And I'm like, oh, whatever, borrow again next time or whatever. Or I still, you don't even matter. You're gone. You're just like that. That's cool. I can handle it. And so you've got so many key things from today, and you can just enjoy letting that be more and more part of your daily life as you go forward.
Yeah. Can I say one thing? I used to see people who were that way, who had boundaries or maybe more assertive, as people who were not so nice, who were maybe a little bit kind of snobby or something like that. Just maybe they felt like they were high and mighty.
Yeah.
But now, and I was worried about being that way. I was worried about coming off that way or being seen as such.
Yeah.
But this whole process also helped me realize that it doesn't have to be that way. You know, assertiveness and boundaries are healthy and they look good on people, So
beautiful. That's great. And that's stepping into your power, being that empowered woman. What does that mean? Well, she's got boundaries and she's got self-respect, and people will respect that and resonate with her and are accepting of it. You're accepting of your own self with those boundaries and not being that snobby person. You're like, I know what I am. It's not, people could misinterpret it as that. I don't. But
it's okay.
Yeah. Or even I could have misinterpreted it and therefore deny myself of it, but I'm not going to do that anymore. And that is a big takeaway and a really important thing. That's sort of the answer. Why do I attract people into my life who are, why do I attract them into my intimate relationships? Well, that's another reason, and why is my mother like this? Well, she's like that because that's what she's like. But why do I attract them? It's because I didn't have these boundaries or this level of self-respect and all that. So that's part of the other reason, isn't it? So I think we really cracked.
Yeah.
So that was the question. I think we cracked the case, So
it's weird. I think we answered every single thing that I initially with my intake form, even to where I was wondering, because what could I have possibly when I was asked what could I possibly have done wrong when I was a little baby to have my mom act that way. But I feel really this was something had that had to be taken care of from before. And this is just the residue, and now I'm learning how to deal with the residue.
Beautiful.
You're brilliant. You're wonderful, Mark. You're absolutely, thank you for being open and allowing me to trust you and you trust me. And I'm really happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, I also thank you and your spirit guides. So there's something beyond us, where it was the right time for us to meet and do this. And I'm glad, and for you to see there's a spiritual solution there, which is, why did I have to go through all this with my mom and all this stuff with people? And it's like, well, these are just some of the spiritual lessons I have to learn on earth. And
can I say one more thing?
Ahead.
I'm so sorry. While I was in the bathroom earlier, I was talking to my spirit guide. I was just praying to the universe to help me rise up above this. And those were the exact words that you'd used, like in the beginning somewhere. I'm just like, oh, this is just amazing. So you said the exact phrase that I was using when I was talking to my spirit guides, when I was, talking to the universe and praying.
Okay.
So I just thought I was just like, oh.
Yeah, beautiful. There's a sync and a connection, and this is at a spiritual level. So I was going to say, and like we've done all this using hypnotherapy with age regression, which a lot of people think isn't as spiritual as past life regression or between lives. But I think we've demonstrated that this is a very spiritual modality, and we haven't gone into a past life or a between lives at all, and yet it's still been extremely spiritual. Would you agree?
I agree.
And so that's one thing. Sometimes people think, I don't even want to do, we started off almost asking, let's do between life, what was it in a past life that did it? Or did I make a between lives choice? And it's like, yes, we can find out about that. We could, but let's do some hypnotherapy first and see if that's not a way of getting to some spiritual and therapeutic resolutions. And hey, presto, it was not only just therapeutic, but it was very spiritual. And so we could we can reconvene and just have a little catch up about what we've done, but we may then see if it's appropriate to take it into have another little interview and see if we can go into some of the past life and between life realms, which may be just one more step that we can take. But for now, you can see, we weren't putting it off or avoiding that. And this was a very useful modality to select and do. And we may be able to do other modalities related to this and find out more answers in it with another kind of language or with that new modality. But for now, this modality was certainly worthwhile doing, don't you think?
I 100%.
100% great. And so
it's wonderful.
Beautiful. Yeah. So that's one of the things I want to demonstrate and show to people about how spiritual hypnotherapy can be, and it can lay a foundation and groundwork. So if we go and do more regression to past lives, which could be, it may not even be relevant because we've done so much healing now, but it may be also just a whole nother journey. But for now, this journey has been fantastic. So congratulations. And I will stay in touch and talk again soon enough. But for now, well done.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.